Hey, what's up, Popo? I have a new episode of The Old 52. And as usual, it's brought to you by Red Knight, but this time I'm talking more about the Indiegogo pledge drive I'm still doing. It actually has a couple more weeks. Go to the link below, and you can still pledge and get rewarded out of anything you like on the list. I'll wait. Did you do it? I'm sure you did. Anyway, let's talk about Gotham Central. How about that? This is issue number 1 of this series, written by Ed Brubaker and Greg Rucka, drawn by Michael Lark. Cool fun fact, these guys, Greg Rucka and Michael Lark, they're currently doing the Lazarus series over at Image. I highly recommend it, by the way. Anyway, we open up with a couple police officers in Gotham City here, and they've gotten a tip that this kidnapping they're sort of working on, they might have a lead. So they go to the door, and in this beat-up, kind of run-down ghetto apartment is Mr. Freeze, and he kills one of them, freezes him to death, and lets the other one live. We don't really see the end scene of that, so there is a bit of mystery as to what happened. Did they make a deal, or what's going on? So the rest of the series introduces us to the police department. Now, for those of you who haven't read the series, don't expect this to be a feature series spotlighting Jim Gordon, because Jim Gordon isn't even in this book. This takes place after he retired, after, I think it's the Officer Down storyline, where he was shot and he stepped down for a couple of years. Commissioner Atkins is the guy who's in charge here. But actually, instead of the way writers normally portray the Commissioner, at least since the 90s, Batman writers seem to think that the Commissioner of big city police departments are like the leader of the Autobots, where they're always leading and always in the streets fighting, and you can just randomly choose a guy after he's shot down. Like, no, it's actually a position. It's a government position, and they don't do a lot of stuff like that. And it's written that way. This is actually more in line of realistic cop shows, like Homicide, Life on the Street, and other shows, which I imagine is one of the big influences on this book. Funny story is, I can't remember if it was Brubaker or Rutka. I think it was Brubaker, who had been bugging the DC editors to do a book like this. Actually, the characters, the cop characters, probably particularly starting with Chuck Dixon, had started taking a life of their own, and they were like bugging him, like, we should do this book, and then Brian Michael Bendis comes out with Powers, and Brubaker shows up into the offices of one of the DC editors and slams a copy of Powers in front of him and goes, we should have done this book 3 years ago. And that's what led to this, actually. Anyway, we get to see a lot of the cops' attitudes reacting to the death of this character, and there's an interesting little piece how that cop, he had actually put Batman's name on the board in the office, where cases, where I forgot what it's called, the board case where detectives' names are and who's taking care of what. He started putting Batman's name up there, and it really bugged some people, and eventually they decided to take it down because they thought it was low on morale, and that's actually why he was doing it, because a lot of cops resent the fact that Batman is going out and solving cases, which is something I always really liked. Anyway, we get to see the characters. We get to see Chris, who Harvey Bullock nicknamed him Hardback or something like that because he likes to read books, and this is when he was partnering up with Renee Montoya. Also, Detective Sawyer is in here. Yeah, 2 women Batwoman have slept with are part of this cast. And we also get to see Stacy, the kind of assistant who has kind of the punky look to her. This is a really interesting series, and it's very maturely written, and not like DC New 52 mature, where it's like, you shot my grandmother in front of me and then raped my baby, I'm gonna kill you. Not that kind of bullshit maturity. Real, like, adults being adults maturity. And still fascinating as hell. It's a really cool book. Meanwhile, Mr. Freeze is killing people, so they're trying to actually solve the mystery on their own. I shouldn't call it short-lived. It went on for a few years, but, you know, to be honest, this book should be around today. It's a terrific series. This is collected in a couple of trades. Go pick up the individual issues however you want to. It's well worth your time. This is Gotham Central #1. Push the button, Lindsay.